Okay. Good morning, everyone. This is Michael Venezia, head trader at TradeView Markets. It is Monday morning. Market, as we said, never bottoms on a Friday, and that seems to be no different today. Let me sign in right now. Hold on a second if I can. Okay, TradeGATEHub, TradeView Markets. This is how I sign in, how everybody else signs in. As I say all the time, the most important data that I post throughout the week is on Monday. And that's because, come on, you see stocks, this information trickles out during the week. So that's why, that's why it's relevant, and there's a lot of it. And as I say before, it's quality, not quantity of what I post. So I want everybody to pay attention, please. All right. This is tactical sentiment when we came in TV markets. Yeah, good. This is a tactical sentiment when we came in on Friday. We were oversold. As you can see, the difference when we were bullish, a couple of months ago was, tactical sentiment was hanging around the overbought territory, which is bullish, which they were playing into a trend. And, that's why all these other stocks kept going. But as you can see, just like we did in October, we're spending too much time down here in December in the oversold category. And, as I posted later on, I'll show you right here, it's getting a little bit more ominous. Tax selling hasn't abated. The biotechs are the poor sector as we speak right now. I actually like trading a lot of biotechs. A lot of my friends, if you will, are trying to get out of them. Taxless selling is evident. Fear and greed. Okay, this is where we were 2020. So that was pandemic levels. So certainly we're not in pandemic levels. As the good news came out this morning, if you will, but there is fear. But the problem here is there's short-term fear. There's not intermediate fear. This is Nasdaq sentiment. For tactical sentiment across the board to be that oversold, but the Nasdaq, and by the way, Nasdaq bounced this morning, so we're right up here. So certainly I wouldn't be chasing anything. I actually did make some bad sales, which I'll show you before. Just because this is not, considering where we are in the market and the indices, Nasdaq sentiment for me to get comfortable, start really dipping my toe in, or somewhat even aggressively, has to be down here, and it's not. S&P future sentiment, we're up 32 handles at one point. So we're right near in the middle. You know what I mean? By no means are we bottom. Sector sentiment, we are washed out in a lot of categories except tech. Sentiment indicator, Goldman. We're going back to June 20. Nobody's involved. They're not involved. But it doesn't mean it's necessarily bullish. That's a pretty low reading for the market pulling back the way it did, for the way it did, for them not to be involved. So that's not that bullish for me. Breadth, go over it. Sharpie hedgers combined. Okay, intermediate risks level. Every time that we get, now obviously, punch up the data, correlates to the S&P. We're going back to January of 18. So anytime we got somewhat down here, if you correlate this to the market, we bounce. We bounce when we're oversold. We bounce, but we're really not there yet. It's an important option week as well. SPY gamma exposure, not completely washed out. Hedge funds spit up a little bit. That means that they sold. They got nervous on Thursday and Friday. That is a bullish sign, though, but by no means, I want them to be all out. As a matter of fact, I want hedge funds to be short. Everything is self-explanatory to a degree. You know what I mean? World markets, everything is washed out. Russia, boom. Mexico, the Mexicans, they're getting hurt. Wow. Okay, Australia, sorry, Ben. Canada, China. Baba had news today, bound Spain. Okay, sector analysis, go over it. Okay, daily sentiment, treasuries, dollar, gold, and crude. Okay, T-bonds, I get it. Let's pause this. Dollar, there we go. Crude bounced today. It's up $2, if you will. So, let's look what that is. Okay, top scans, power scans, go over these. These are the names we're all trading. I'm not making it up. These are the ones you want to be in. Sentiment indicator. Helene had a nice chart on Bitcoin. It actually did bounce after that sell-off. What was it, Sunday morning or something like that? I did buy, I'll show you another trade that I made. Walter Bloomberg up and downgrades, earnings for the week, write them down. CPC matches post-crash 10. That's nice, but it's intermediate. We pulled back a little. Top ranges from range and volume, put call ratio. Listen, I want it up here. There's a lot of a weak undertone in the market. I don't see any fear. The VIX is up. The VIX is down today. There's no fear. That doesn't bode well for me in how I trade the markets. Okay, let me go to some trades I made. Share screen. Okay. Zoom info was a shot I took. I traded very poorly, by the way. And if it was, oh, it's up 3 now. Oy. All right, Zoom info. Let me clear this. Is a stock that I've been watching. I trade it, and let's look at the QQQ. QQQ. As the Nasdaq is going lower, and all these other stocks like Docu that got punished, down 50%. ASAN from 150 to 65. You, a TradeView favorite, went from 210 to 140. But I like the ZI. The ZI closed with decent volume on Friday, closed right on the 200-day. So I took a shot. I took some because I thought the text would be washed out a little bit. All right, so Zoom info, this is where it opened. This broken line here is 56.20, 56.90. I sold a little bit, 57.90. It was up $1. Then they did the dip and rip. It went from 57.90 to 56. So that's $3. And they got me out. So here are my trades. I should have bought it back right here, right when it was basing at this. See what opened? Then it had that base with that volume. I should have bought that right back at 58. I didn't. But let me show you how I traded it. Okay, so the stock closed on the 200-day, which was what are my volumes? Trust me, it was on 56 around. So this is what I did today. I came in overnight, so I sold some at 56.70, 57.30, and 57.89. But I was long the stock from cheap. Question on TGH. All right. It's probably Lewis. Oh, yeah. No, he's right. All right. At least Lewis is asking the right questions. Bravo, Lewis. All right. You know what? I'll give you an example about TSN and General Mills, Lewis. The first thing I saw today is a friend of mine on my Twitter feed said Procter & Gamble is ripping. So I didn't have to look. And there's Procter & Gamble. So I knew exactly what was going on right there. So look at TSN, which should be up. Beautiful. Let's look at the General Mills. That's smart, Lewis. You're going into safety. I mean, I would. Okay, let's go to the weekly. Yeah, they look great. General Mills at the 60 RSI. The problem with General Mills, it very rarely, it's a very thick, consumer staple stock. Very rarely does its RSI, get above here, and it's approaching that. I would probably buy it on the dip. TSN. What else? I like something else. I like Hormel, I think. HRL. Oh, I don't like that anymore. TSN. I'll tell you a trade that I like those TSN and General Mills. I had the right idea today, and that's why I bought PTLO today. Oh, look at that. PTLO I took a shot at. Let's look what we did with this today. That's one of these new restaurant stocks. All right, so blue is buying it. So I'm buying PTL right here where these blue triangles are. 35.20, 35.40, and I sold it at 35.80, and the stock went to 37.5. What a bad trade. I mean, the problem with that is I took the risk of buying something that could have hurt me, and I didn't make the meat of the trade. That upsets me because if it went down, I would have held it a little bit longer than I should have. So PTLO, I took a stab here when it had that IPO base at 35.20, but I traded poorly, as I said. It sold at 35.70, and the other one I bought nicely because I was watching PTLO, his brothers, Dutch brothers, the coffee shop, if you will. That was a nice trade. So, and I saw the other ones around. I saw DraftKings. All these little stocks started to squeeze. Keep in mind, one day doesn't make a reversal, but DraftKings at one point was up $2. Now, I want to say something about DraftKings. People have been trying to catch the bottom on this, so probably from about 34. So the reason why I say one day doesn't make a reversal, because when a stock goes from 28 to 30, and probably people along this thing around here, they want to sell it still. They're selling the bounce. They don't want to be long this thing anymore. You want to be long DraftKings. 35.30. Where would that be? Yeah, you want above the moving averages. I don't even like it that much. It's out of play. What else? What else did I have? PTLO. Okay, I have label too. Lewis, you'll appreciate this. I have label. Now, I lost $2,000 in label, but look, it was a good trade because this is what the stock did today. I came in long a little bit, a little taste, maybe 2,000 shares. But these triple ETFs, label opened at 35.16. 35.16. Before I knew it, I looked down, it was 32.51. It fell almost $3. So I'm like, all right, I'm not married to this trade. I got to average down a little bit. I'm going to get out. And I turned a $12,000 loser into a $2,000 loser. That's where I started buying. Remember, blue of the buys. So I came in long it, and I'm like, whoa. So I bought some at 32.75 right here. 33.17 I added. I doubled down at 33.68. So I'm 32.70, and I'm selling at 34.5, which was a good trade because right now it's 33. So if I didn't sell at 34.5, I'd be long 8,000 shares. Now I'd be down another $1.50. So I'd be stuck 12 grand instead of losing 2. So that just tells you being mature. And when you're wrong, it's okay to be wrong. It's only not okay to be wrong when you know you're wrong and you don't do anything about it. Serious. All right. What now? Where's the VIX? All right, listen, the VIX is down 90 cents and where it's come from. That means if the market's tame, there's not a lot of reversals happening. I need the VIX a lot higher. The only thing that is on the positive is the VIX, and we know we don't trade it, had a lot of volume, more than it's had consecutive days in some time. So I think it may have already made its move. God forbid if something happens with this volume and it goes a lot higher, it's going to go a lot higher. So that's where I'm watching the VIX. Let's go to the Twitter feed. What's going on here? What are they doing today? List about as light as we ever seen at this time of day. So this is the option activity that's going on at this time of day, and it's light as we've ever seen it. So nobody's really willing to step in. Tesla bearish. Charts to watch. Very good. SBAC, PM bullish. VIX. Let's look what the hell. VIX call. Double normal and large calendar spreads. Largest trade in this market was a buyer of VIX June calls. All right. Tesla bullish. Action has seen low there. Flow remains bullish, but things have really slowed down. Keep an eye on for upticks and sweeper. We don't really see any sweeper. Crew positioning. Let's go to our main page. I hope I answered your question, Lewis. And maybe now my TV, V's in. All right. I bought TNT. I bought it and I sold it. I probably sold. Oh, look at AT&T. I was buying AT&T. I think I bought around 23 in anticipation of the very same question going into these dividend stocks. AT&T I do not like because it has a little technology in it. T-Mobile I would definitely take an interest in. That one was T-Mobile. No, I like this. You know what I like? And Lewis, don't. I like this one. Viacom. Believe it or not. I'm going to tell you what. Here it is. I'll show you my screen. And we don't like trading takeover rumors. The stock's cheap. Viacom, some rooting on that Apple's talking to Redstone about buying Viacom, but that's not the only one. With Viacom, there is huge amount of insider buying. Hold on. VIAC insider buying. Okay. Recent transaction purchases. 21 transaction of insider buys and one sale. Let me go to, you know what, this is better. Let me go to bar chart. I have my own insider buy thing. I'm just letting you guys know about, let's go to insiders. Insider trades Viacom. Close. Oh, why it doesn't have it? Viacom. See this? Bear with me. Okay, here we go, Viacom, if you could see this. Jones acquires Viacom. Phillips acquires Viacom. Acquires. The CEO bought 40,000 Viacom. David Tepper likes Viacom. Kramer shares his thoughts on Viacom. Let's look at Kramer's thoughts on Viacom. Look at Overstock. We're on that one. Viacom. Company said Viacom is just okay and it's a well-run company. You know, I'm not going to listen to Kramer, but there's been a lot of insider buying. And I think Viacom, with the risk to reward here, I mean, if you're going to step in one thing like T or Verizon or I like Viacom. What else? Market's making a nice move. DraftKings, futures breaking high. Path, we're in that. SDGR, Overstock. I did buy Overstock on Friday. Options, went right to the 200-day. Oh, and this is another one I bought today. I saw Mara. See this Mara? Mara, bullish. This is the chart on Mara today. Help me out. 35 to 40. So it's rallied 5. Riot. 25 to 27. And I bought BITO like a putz. These are all my buys. I think I bought 20,000 shares. So I'm buying BITO, which is the Bitcoin fund. And I thought it capitulated, if you will. But of course, I bought the worst of breed. I bought like 10,000 shares. What is 35.50? I sold at 31, like 10 grand, whatever, 3 grand, whatever. Market's looking better now. Here's my screen. Futures up 42. What stocks do we have? Brothers. Bad trade on Brothers. We came in as long as S. No good. SG. Came in long SG. Now, let me tell you, Lewis, I know you'd be interested in SG. I took a stab on this thing. Let's look at the daily. Okay. The stock went from 57. I actually bought on Friday very well, which is why I wound up taking it. Let's look at 5 minutes. I bought it Friday, like 24, sold it at 26. And then it based, and I bought it again. Let's look what I did with it. I came in long 5,000 shares, I believe. I came in long, it closed at 24.82. I was selling at 25.60. And I'm glad I sold at 25.60 because then I looked down, stock was 24.60. Of course, it saved myself 5,000. Alta, CI, Twitter. Twitter making a move off the bottom. One day doesn't make the reversal. Twitter, no volume. Baba. Path, I'm in Path. What else? Any other questions? And Mike? Okay. So I'll leave it at that. You know what? Let me go to the hot page and let me show you what's moving before I go. Okay, what's moving now? What's at the high? Yum at the high. Why isn't that working well? Let's go to top list. Okay. Today's volume near the high. GDS, a Chinese stock. Docu making a turnaround. FUTU, Coles had news. Look at Coles. You could put all you wanted on the open. Coles had a takeover chatter. Stock closed at 48.5. Opened at 50.5. Should have bought it right here. For 51.5. That's going to bother. Anyway, only temporarily. What's going down? You know what? Let's go to our alert page. What's getting sexy? Roll Strategies, Dominion, Yum, Reda, breaking out on volume, nothing. USFD, nothing. SD on the high with range. SO, LI, Colgate. That says a lot for you, Lewis. Path, I'm in that. Royal Caribbean, NCLH. That's incredible. Look at that. We'll talk about absorbing bad news. That absorbed bad news, NCLH. The whole place it's Wow. I'd look to short that. 2040, how about this gap here? 2040. What do you think? 2040? No, no. Better trades. LI acting well. LEC, overstock, giddy up. LG, VN halted. Look at that stock. Halted up. Wow, look at that. From 17 to 21. Fisker. There's Label. Label still can't go. Thank God. Sold it. Viacom, Tags, Hood. Nothing. TTD, ZI, nice sale. Mike V, Twitter. All right, so let's look at JXN, CLSK. Look at this BITO. Mara's going to go unchanged. Maybe this is the bottom on Bitcoin. Where's the Bitcoin? It's not even rallied that much yet. 36 to 38. The stocks are going more than the entity. I don't like it. BE, General Motors, Boeing. Ugh. Futures breaking higher. I don't. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, we will let's go back to TGH. Come on. Okay. Futures rebound from earlier. So listen, you got to be tactical. You know what I mean? The VIX is still low. The VIX is breaking. There's not a lot of reverses. So look at ZI. Your winners will stay with your winners. Q2, Bob, let's see how that closes. Market's going higher now. It's all about the close, guys. So we'll see after lunch. Trade well, have a plan, be aware of the earnings, be aware of tactical sentiment. And I'll answer any questions a little bit later on. Trade well and cheers, guys. Thanks again.